Ladies, this is exactly how you date provider energy men, and we'll also show you how to spot them.
It may not always be obvious that he's a provider energy man. We'll give you some tips and tools to help you identify those that potentially can be those provider energy guys.
Yes, because we don't want to waste our time, ladies.
You want him to really provide for you and go over the top.
Yes.
You don't just want provision. You want him to do exceeding abundantly more than you can ask or think.
Let's talk about how to actually date these types of guys. What's actually important to a provider type man? Okay, not just some dude that needs to be taken care of. We're talking about a man that will actually take care of you, make sure you're good physically, financially, emotionally, all of those things.
And for those lovely ladies that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha.
And I'm Brian.
I was a former single mom with 4 kids, went through a whole bunch of trauma and loss. If you're interested in learning more about dating and relationships and feeling good in your body again, I'm talking your hormones, your nervous system, all that.
Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos and content.
Okay, first of all, how do you know he's actually a provider type man? The obvious is the money. We're not going to talk about money and him paying your bills because I feel like that's just the obvious. We want to talk about more of the subtle signs that this man is a provider. And what really inspired this is, you were talking to your friends. I was talking to my nephew who's in his 30s as well. And these are provider type men. Like, they would treat their wives like gold, pay for everything. But these women that they're dating, have no idea, and they just come with their hands out, and it turns these guys off.
And this isn't the case in every situation, but a lot of the men that I do talk to are giving us the same story, where these ladies don't appreciate, the small things.
Yeah.
These ladies want so much, and we just met.
Yeah.
They're ready for me to retire them. Things like that, and right away, that's a turnoff. But the thing is, they haven't even given the guy an opportunity to even show who he is. This is first date. This is second date. And these are healthy provider energy men that want relationships. But when that happens immediately, then it's like, okay, that's not even an option anymore. Those guys have moved on.
How do you actually spot a provider energy man? A lot of ladies think, if he's driving a nice car, if he's all decked out, if he has a 6-pack abs, he's tall, dark, and handsome, he's masculine. Those are not signs of masculinity. Signs of masculinity is your ability to provide. Like, if you're going at the actual core definition of that masculinity is your ability to provide and to protect. So maybe back in the day when we were tribal, the size of the man did matter, right? Like, he had to be big. The female brain is attracted to tall and big and strong. But that's not how men provide anymore. Men provide now based on their skills, based on their sales skills, their business skills, their work skills. That's why sometimes these guys aren't tall. They're not big. They don't have a 6-pack ab. But they're busy providing for people. They're busy showing up consistently for work or for business or for their employees, and those are actual signs of masculinity and a provider man.
So I want to go back to the 6-pack.
Yeah.
And you see this so much. So many ladies are looking for the guy with the perfect body. The reality is, unless you're doing this for work, most men don't have time to have a 6-pack, tight body. Now, you don't have to have a dad body, even though some men do. But they just don't have time because they're busy working, busy building businesses, busy providing. And providing isn't just money. They're probably coaching. They're probably volunteering places.
Yeah.
These are things that provider energy men are doing. And when you're looking for looks and body and things like that, then a lot of times you're going to run into guys that are into themselves. Guys that's more focused on themselves. They have all the latest designer. They have everything. They look good every time they go out. I mean, haircut, which everyone should have, but haircut, new clothes, the latest shoes. These type of men have a lot of time on their hands. These type of men are focused on themselves. So when you come in a picture, it's no space for you. It's like it's about them, and you have to cater to them. So that's the one thing I wanted to make sure we pointed out before we move forward. Now, another sign that a guy could be a provider energy man is how he looks. He may be super basic because as guys, as healthy provider energy men, unless we're in a relationship or pursuing it, we're going to worry about making money. We're going to worry about things that matter. So you may see him wearing a shirt that looks the same every day. And for me personally, I have about 15 shirts that look just like this. And most men that are provider energy man, they have a lot of the same clothes. They may have a basic car because they're putting their money towards investments. They're looking at different opportunities and don't want to waste money just spending it to look a certain way. But they actually, in their bank account, they have tens of hundreds of thousands in their bank account because that's what matters to them, preparing for families. That's why we always say don't base it on how they look, because healthy provider energy men are busy with their head down getting the job done, and it might not always show in how they look.
Exactly, babe. And I mean, I was so intentional about that. I really wanted a husband that was simple and plain and didn't need to spend 3 hours in the gym and made sure, he had all the name brand everything. And no, I was looking at how he was spending his time. And my husband, that's exactly, and I mean, I didn't tell him this. You don't tell them this, ladies, right? You're just observing. You're just observing. Because typically a provider energy man, a high value man, he is taking care of business. He has a team. Usually he has like a team with work. Like he's a leader, right? So he's a leader at work or with his business. He's coaching. He's doing things like that. People look up to him. People respect him, right? That's going to show you right away what type of man this is. If he's a lone wolf where he has no relationships with anybody, he's getting in trouble at work, he has no employees or he has no coworkers, he's not really doing anything. It doesn't matter how good he looks. He's showing that he can't get along with humans, right? He can't get along with people. It can be so subtle, but he really is a provider type guy. He's not into how he looks at all. And I also like that you said that, because I know some guys do, really want to be chiseled and all that, but that's part of their business, right? If it's part of your business, then that's different, right? So we're not saying write up all guys that have a six-pack abs, because if that's part of his business, that's important.
Even in where guys live, a lot of guys that are single, maybe preparing for marriage or something like that, they're preparing. So they may even live in a studio apartment.
Yeah.
They may be nomads where it looks like every year they're somewhere else. I know even for myself, maybe the last 5 years, I knew that I was planning on getting married. I knew that was in my future. So I didn't want to be tied down to a location. I wanted to be open. If I wanted to move or anything like that, I would be able to. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I've only lived at a place for maybe a year tops. And that, for me, in my mind, that was preparation so I can move and so I can be flexible in case she's in Chicago, which I'm from, or if she's in Canada, which you were at. And once I made the decision, I didn't have to move as much around as I would have had, or if I would have done things that would have locked me in. So just because guys may not have things that you think they need, when guys are single, they're preparing. They're positioning themselves so when they get married, they'll buy that house. So when they get married, they can move around. But you have to know that just because they don't have it, that doesn't mean that they're not a provider energy man.
So good. Let's talk about how to actually date these types of guys. What's actually important to a provider type man? Okay, not just some dude that needs to be taken care of. We're talking about a man that will actually take care of you, make sure you're good physically, financially, emotionally, all of those things. So some of the things that aren't so obvious but show that he's really a provider is that he's checking in on you. He's making sure you are good. Do you need anything today, babe? And this is in the dating stage and in the marriage stage.
And even with us, when I was courting her and we were in different countries, it was still me checking in, making sure she's good. Even helping with the kids, me being a coach forever, her kids playing sports, we were training online. So guys, take notes. It may seem off the wall, but those small things matter when you're really getting to know someone. And for me, it was me taking something away, something off her plate, and helping with the kids, making sure that she knew that this is potentially what I'll be able to do when we move forward in marriage. Because women are definitely looking for, how do I know he's going to be a provider? And those small things like what we were able to do really was intentional because I wanted to help. But it also for her showed that this guy potentially is a provider for me and my family.
Yeah, and even just like little things, you know, when he finally moved up to Canada, you were helping take things off my plate. Like literally whatever he could do, he was just taking it off my plate, because I was just carrying so much, right? And so it's just those little things. Is he trying to help you? And for single moms, the number one thing we need is help. We just need help, right? So, but we can't come from the place, ladies, you cannot come from this place of needy, desperate, burnt out energy. Like, I hate my life, I'm exhausted, I look like life has kicked the crap out of me. You're not going to attract the type of guy. You have to look so good. You have to be healed. You don't have to be perfect, but you need to really have done a lot of stuff that we teach you girls on this channel and in our programs. And then a guy knows, like, he wants to come in and be your hero. He wants to come in and take things off your plate. He knows that you're not going to be able to do everything by yourself, right? And so you're just like looking for those little signs of what is he doing to make your life easier, not harder.
And it's the reality. And the one thing that you did so well was that you didn't ask me to do all this stuff, especially within what she's already doing in her life with her children, with just her business. It wasn't asking me to come in and be a hero. It was me making a decision, because I'm seeing you running, taking them to practice, coming home,
having meltdowns.
Right, having meltdowns, cooking, listening to all the children's problems and everything that went on in the day. And all of that, I was looking at it like, okay, what can I do without intruding? Because you don't want a guy who's just going to intrude and come in, and now they become stepdaddy, superhero, and you're not even married. But you want them to be able to step in and do those things that may be subtle. Just like, okay, I'll run to the store if you need something. I'll run the kids to practice, or I'll drive and you just sit in the passenger seat. Taking those small things off your plate is so key to let you know, but not overbearing where they're coming in. It's been no commitment and they're just coming in doing everything like you're married. That's the small difference that you want to make sure you see in how they approach it.
Yeah, this is really important, ladies. We don't act like we're married until we are married. And even with us, we were seriously dating for marriage. Like, we were talking about engagement, we were engaged within 8 months. So we were really, really serious about this. There's no way I would have done this just with some random person, or he would have done this with some random person, right? So that's really, really important that first of all, you're not expecting a guy to do any of those things for you.
Important.
That's most important. You're not really expecting him to do that, but you're just being you. You're just being amazing. And naturally what will happen is he's going to do whatever he can to make your life easier, because that's how provider energy type men, masculine energy men, are wired. They want to make your life easier. But one thing I just want to reiterate, because this will help you so much, is you are just so appreciative of the littlest things that he does. We were talking, you were talking to your friends, I was talking to my nephew, and he was just like, he was dating some girls overseas, and he's just like, they're so appreciative of the littlest things, like even going for ice cream, right? Where the women here are just like, you're not doing enough. So ladies, even though we're on here and we talk about attracting provider energy men and not settling and having boundaries, you still want to have this energy that you are so grateful for the littlest things. A cup of coffee, going for ice cream, going for a walk. You can enjoy that and be grateful for that. Or if you're going to a 5-star restaurant, because these types of guys, they will make sure that you have everything that you want and need. But at the beginning, they just want to know that you are, and even in marriage, right? That you are just so grateful for the little things.
Yeah, and that's the thing, even in marriage, because these behaviors, you're not putting on a show. This isn't, okay, what do I need to do to get them? No, this is just you becoming this person because you're appreciative at all times. Because at no point does that man not want to be appreciated. In the same way, do you not want to be provided for? So that's ongoing throughout the relationship, and that appreciation, boosting his ego up. And you can boost up his ego just by telling him, okay, looks like you went to the gym today. and he'll be feeling good. I like the way you look in that shirt. Whatever it is, looking for opportunities to boost up his ego, because you want him to really provide for you and go over the top. You don't just want provision. You want him to do exceeding abundantly more than you can ask or think. For my Bible scholars. You want him to do extra, so you need to do extra to make sure he feels good and to make sure that he has everything that he needs in you. He doesn't need anything else, and that's when the commitment comes. When we see that I have everything I need in you, I need to go ahead and hang up the cleats. There's nothing else out here for me. So let me go ahead and make this commitment and move forward so we can grow and things can get even better.
Yeah, exactly. That's so good. And also that another point is you're fun to be around. You don't feel like work. With provider type men, they're so busy working, right? Like their mind is on making money
all the time.
Like all the time, right? That's what they're focused on. So even if you're a career woman or you're a boss babe, like how I was, you still have to be mindful of, yes, you can still be building your businesses or whatever, but when you're with him, you're in feminine energy mode. You are not in boss babe mode, right? You are fun to be around. You're relaxed. You don't feel like work to him because he will just move on, right? A high value man has options, and just like a high value woman has options. You want to be that fun place for him. You want to be, like I talk about, you want to be that fun Caribbean vacation that he gets to come on anytime he's in your presence, even if it's a text message or a FaceTime call.
And what we were talking about earlier as well, allowing him to have time to himself. I know we were talking about me building a man cave, things like that. That's so important for him, that he has that space to just relax, because as you said, he's always thinking, which is the masculine. He's always processing. He is always looking to see, okay, are the doors locked? Do I need to make sure we need an alarm system? Who's there with her when I'm not there? Right? He's always looking to provide and protect. So he needs that space where he has his own man cave, or where you're not just asking 1,000 questions because you've been thinking about this. So I just need to know. Let's sit down and talk because I need to know right now. No, give him his space. Allow him to relax. Allow him to recuperate from a day where he's been dealing with so many people, where he's been making decisions all day, where he's been answering questions all day. So when he's in your presence, the best thing you can do is just allow him to feel like it's fun. Allow him to relax. Allow him to just enjoy time with you, because that's going to make him want to be around you more, because you're his relief. You're the one that's giving him energy instead of taking away from him by being in your needy energy. So that's so important, that the fun energy that you're bringing, that when you're in his presence. So having that fun energy will just do so much for the relationship. He'll be ready to marry you. He'll be ready to take you on trips. He'll be ready to spend his life with you, because you're his, I won't say you're his peace, because I don't believe anybody is anybody else's peace, but you bring a level of joy and fun to him that he just loves to be around.
Yeah, and ladies, if you're serious about marriage and you're dating a man of God, if you sleep with him, you've already given him everything. Like, sex is easy for men, especially high value men. It's like confident men, it's very easy for them to get sex. So you're not going to stand out at all. You actually stand out by not sleeping with him. And so if you do the things that we're talking about, and he's just feeling amazing in your presence, and he just cannot get enough of your juiciness, right? But you're not sleeping with him, you become the biggest tease of his life, and he's going to do whatever he can so that you guys can get married and you can live like a married couple. So no white privileges ahead of time.
Yeah, you have to hold on to that in a relationship, because once he conquers you in that area, the majority of the time, everybody has a story. I mean, we have a story as well around that.
Not doing things perfectly.
Exactly. But once he conquers you in the area of sex, then you go to that category in most cases where you're the booty call. You're someone when he needs something, even though you're the nicest, most attractive lady ever, he just most likely can't see you in that way if things are too easy.
There's so much more we want to teach you girls on like how to continue this and, you know, going into the dating for marriage and marriage phase. But we will drop some links below if you want to go deeper into this. You really want to learn how to communicate with the masculine, provider type men, dating, you know, what to say on dates and how to text and all that stuff. And then also in marriage, we will leave all those resources for you below.
Definitely. And I know a lot of you ladies are ready to move to the next level in dating and marriage. So make sure you jump into the community as well. We'll leave that link down below. So looking forward to seeing you there.